Hello everyone, welcome back to another Warhammer battle. This is going to be a 1v1 with the Beastmen versus Bretonnia. For my army, I was mostly focused to fight against Bretonnia Cavs, so we have a Chaos Warhound with Poison to support 3 Centaurs with great weapons. I have 2 Minotaurs with great weapons, 6 Ungor Spears, 2 Gorbals, Malagor the Dark Omen, and a Harpy. I think that's it, yeah. And then for Bretonnia, we have Knights of the Realm, Royal Pegasus Knights, Questy Knights, and Grail Guardians for their Cav. Main line of Foot Squires with the Fey Enchantress, Grail Relique, and 2 Peasant Mobs. Not entirely sure why they brought a bunch of Foot Squires. Like, that would be a good battle against, like, Bestigors, I guess. But as a Bretonnia player, or I'm sorry, as a Beastman player facing off against Bretonnia, I don't know how many, like, Bestigor spams you would find. You know, it's hard to say. It's maybe a lot of people would take a bunch of Bestigors just because, you know, they're like the tanky infantry for Beastmen. But, I mean, I think a Bestigor army would be risky against Bretonnia simply because Bretonnia has these Questy Knights. And, well, they just have really good cav who can cycle charge Bestigors to death. But in any case, they took a very strong infantry corps here with the Foot Squires. I'm going to be mostly focused on trying to do what this army was built to do, and that is take out their cav. And also, since the enemy did not bring any archers, my Harpies are kind of like, because they're not really good against Foot Squires. I mean, they can kill, you know, peasant mobs, but anybody can kill a peasant mob. So this is kind of a waste. I was expecting to have peasant Bretonnia, or Bretonnian archers, or like a trebuchet. But we'll find a use for this Harpy at some point. So, since I'm not going to be threatened by a trebuchet or archers, I was like, you know what, let's try and summon this Cygor and maybe weaken their infantry line a little bit. So we're going to do that a little bit. Getting my anti-cav force over here, but then they pulled the Questy Knight and the Grail Guardian over here, so I'm like, you know what, that's more tempting than this Knight of the Realm. And also, these two are being separated because they're pulling back their infantry line to the back of the map, and I was like, you know what, let's just hit these Grail Guardians. The Foot Squires, we can just cycle charge with the Centaurs and the Minotaurs because we have a lot of armor piercing with the Centaurs' great weapons, especially, and they can cycle charge Foot Squires to death pretty easily. They're going to move their flying squad over here, so I'm going to immediately disengage my Harpies and just pull them back because I don't want them just getting killed for free. And I'm also going to keep all my Minotaurs around my Cygor and also around Malagor, just so that he can't be sniped easily by these Royal Pegasus Knights, as I continue to throw rocks into the Grail Guardians. Now, unfortunately, this Cygor isn't really going to hit that great. Like, he does a little bit here and there, but for whatever reason, I don't know why, he's targeting the flank. You should be hitting the center. Just hit the center of this formation. But I think he keeps targeting, like, the edge of it. And right now, I'm just shadowing those Royal Pegasus. There it is! Like, why are you at the edge? Why? Why? Why are you targeting the edge? I have no idea. Target the middle. Look at that! It's the worst thing ever. But anyway, these guys are going to chase off my Harpies once again. And there's going to be a little back and forth back over here. Just back. Why? Why? And then he gets confused here for a moment. I have no idea. Well, I didn't give him another attack order, but for some reason he turns around, does a little stutter step. I remember seeing this in the battle. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's just like, stutter step, stutter step, stutter step. Like, attack the Grail Guardians. Piece of crap, you are dying. You are summoned. I wasn't going to save him for the melee fight, but since I wasn't being pressured, I wanted to try and get the enemy to charge me. So hopefully they would like haphazardly charge, like get these ahead of the army, I could isolate and kill them first, and then I can engage the infantry in this water where they are worse, because small units fight worse in water, and then I was going to recycle charge with my Centaurs and crush them. But they, instead of charging me, even though since I had a Cygor, they're just going to sit back here, so I'm like, you know, fine. So we're just going to catch these people. They gave him a move order, but they didn't run him. They just walked him. So now my Centaurs and Chaos Puppies got in here, we're slowing down the Quest Knights, and they're just trying to pull out. But now we're just getting free damage on these Quest Knights especially. So you can see we're just melting them. Pegasus is coming back up here. I think they were going for the Cygor briefly, but then decided against it. And now I'm just going to retarget these Foot Squires. Or maybe that was against Grail Guardians and just missed, I'm not sure. But we just wrecked that Quest Knight. So here come the Knights of the Realm into the side with these Ungor Spearmen. So I'm going to try and get Malagor over there, maybe? We're pulling back our Centaurs. I think the idea was to do this and catch these Knights of the Realm, but they're getting out of there. I bring up the Harpies so that they can do something at some point. I was targeting the foot squires. Yeah, so like right now, since we just wrecked those quest knights, now I'm just more concerned about the foot squires because I know that our Centaur force, our beastmen, our Gorbles, and the Minotaurs can wreck these Grell Guardians. Grell Guardians are tough, but that's a lot for the Grell Guardians to handle. And I'm not super concerned about the Knights of the Realm because we have so many spearmen on this side of the map that can just block them for days. And so right now we're just kind of buying some more time, letting the Cygor do its thing, and then we're going to try and find a way in on these Grell Guardians. I'm like, well, let's just do it then. They're going to charge me, so I'm like, yeah, let's charge. So we're going to charge and just ignore these foot squires. We try and halt their charge with the Chaos Puppies. We're going to poison them, then we're just going to charge it behind them, and then get these Centaurs around over here. Royal Pegasus Knights think about it briefly, and then they are not going to charge into this. But you're going to see that the enemy is going to start moving their infantry force this way, but that's why I'm throwing my Ungor Spearmen. I'm trying to pin them down. We're trying to get these foot squires pinned down with our Spearmen to keep them out of this fight, but it's too late. These Grell Guardians were isolated and destroyed by so much armor and anti-large damage. It was disgusting. Meanwhile, the Pegasus Knights over here are going to try and snipe Malagor, so we're going to throw more Ungor Spearmen over there. And then we're going to disengage somebody. I can't remember who, but we disengage some of these forces to go over here. Fan Church is coming down, but again, we have kind of snagged a lot of their infantry here, so they're being forced to fight over here where they don't want to. Knights of the Realm did a whoop, and they're trying to get into my Minotaur, so we're just going to be like, just so many bloops are happening down here, and just like cycle bloops over here. More Ungors coming in. So the Knights of the Realm just get isolated and destroyed, just like I isolated and destroyed the other Knights. Meanwhile, back here, my Ungor Spearmen are keeping Malagor safe against these Royal Pegasus Knights. They're trying to hit me with a meteor spell, and I'm like, get the hell out of here. What do you think this is? Kindergarten? I don't know why I said kindergarten. I have no idea why I said that. Why did I say that? But anyway, so we pulled out of that. They are going to miss that spell. Then we're going to run back in here to the foot squires, do some charges with the Minotaurs, because now all of their cav is dead except for these who are dying to my spearmen. I do run somebody. Oh, no, it's when I notice the Faint Enchantress over here. That's when I think I disengage my Gorbals to try and focus down the Faint Enchantress, because Malagor is starting to take some damage, and the spearmen are starting to rout because they're dying to these Royal Pegasus Knights. Finally, I'm going to get my Harpies over here. We chased off some Knights with those Centaurs over there, so we're going to get them back over here. And at this point, like, all these foot squires are getting charged by the Centaurs, who, again, they have a lot of armor-piercing damage, and all their cav is mostly dead. These Royal Pegasus Knights are almost dead. Here come the Gorbals to kill the Faint Enchantress. This one Ungor Spearman is holding 2 foot squires and a peasant mob by themselves, so we're going to do a rear charge here. I'm casting Devolve. I've cast a couple Devolves at this point, which also lowers leadership, which, you know, Bretonnians, if they're not supported by this thing, they rout pretty quickly. And Devolve is a -8 leadership, and then the rear charge. Getting charged in the rear is debuffs, stronger, faster creatures nearby, so like the leadership crumbled. And that's going to be a GG. So good game to Tutorial 2. Got some decent kills on the foot squires, and the Royal Pegasus Knights killed a bunch of my Ungor Spearmen, but all of these just, I killed them one at a time. Even if all 3 of these were engaged against my anti-cav force, which was everything here, and I tried to keep 2 spearmen in an anti-cav battle as well, like, even all of them together, I couldn't, well, no, I don't, even with the Royal Pegasus Knights in there, like, I don't think that could beat my cav force, even in like a giant blob. With the Gorbals in there, I don't think so. That would have been a hard time. They would have had to support him with the foot squires. But in any case, good game, and I guess let's go watch the cinematic view. Not much else to say, I think, about the kills here. Let's try the insert camera. Whoa. And this is all still focused on the unit. Ooh. Like I'm on a roller coaster. Weird. Where's the Gorbals at? Alright, so I think I have it selected. When we get into the battle over here, I'll probably press insert again. knight that got left behind. Poor knights. It was an epic duel. Ungor versus knights. Poking each other over. Oh shit, hold on. Let's follow this Gorbel in. Oh god. Right through his head. He's still alive. Oh, now he's not. Watch out for that meteor! Oh wait, that was the fake one. That was actually not a meteor at all. That was whatever that was. Awakening of the Wood. People have requested this camera mode before, so just giving it a shot. There's the meteor. Yeah, that's a meteor. Comet of Casadora. Alright, now get back in there. Watch out for the tree. Okay, watch out for the tree. This camera gets a little wonky. Alright. Whoops. Whoops. So that was the unit camp. Oh, and that's it. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. But thanks for watching, everybody. There's a test of the insert cam that has been requested, and I will see you all next time. Take care.